Okay, want to give you something to think about today. I like giving you something so that you can actually give it a little bit thought, a little bit context as to how you're living. You see, when I went through my spiritual awakening, the first emotion that I experienced was anger, and I felt quite a lot of anger at society. I felt anger at my parents, my sibling, society, because they have contributed to us living in a world that we are fearful of, that we are living in lack, that we are suffering, we're full of fear, doubt and worry. And at first when I thought, oh my gosh, this isn't actually true, and I felt really quite anger at first, thinking, my goodness, these people that are meant to love me have taught me to live in a place of suffering. Why the hell would you do that? Why would you bring me into the world to teach me that? Then I realised, well, they only know what they know. So they only taught me what they know, what they were taught. But after the anger came sympathy, because we're all living from that place. We're all living from a place of fear, doubt and worry. We're all living from a place of suffering because that's how the majority of people have been taught, and it's just a vicious cycle that keeps repeating itself. So whenever we're bringing children into the world, we're just repeating the cycle again and again and again. So I realised, whilst I was angry because I felt that I'd missed out on so much of life because of the way that I've been taught that life is, and I did feel that anger, I felt such rage. However, I soon got over that, and it moved into sympathy to think, oh my goodness, there's so many people that are living like this. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you today about was, or I want you to think about, is many of us will be manifesting from our current reality. The thing is your current reality is probably going to give you the contrast that you're looking for. So let's just say that you don't have money in your bank account. The contrast is there for you to put, as Abraham Hicks says, a rocket of desire out to say that I desire more money. But then what happens is you continue to focus and you continue to give energy and you continue to give your attention to what you're experiencing right now from your five senses. But your five senses are senses, they're not creative tools. They are not your creative tools. They are just for you to experience what you've created. Your skin is another sensory organ that you have. If you were to go through a field of nettles, you would certainly feel that on your skin. But your other senses, your sight, your hearing, taste, touch, hearing, it's all for you to experience the world, but you get to co-create it. But you continue to create by giving focus and giving attention to what you're currently sensing. Then you're just going to keep recreating that again and again, and this is how you get stuck. You get stuck in but I've already said I want more money, but you're continuing to believe that your senses are telling you the truth. They're senses, they're not creative tools. None of what you have as a human is a creative tool. You have to go to your spirit mind in order for you to start creating a life on purpose. And this comes down to your consciousness. Your consciousness is what you should be changing in order for you to, let's say, get more money. It's your consciousness you should be changing. That is your starting point for your creative mechanism to kick in, for you to give you a different experience, for you to sense. You see, if you believe in your consciousness, you believe that you are poor, then that's exactly what you will experience. But if you were to start to change that consciousness and to change that belief through a number of mechanisms, that you are abundant, money flows to you easily. Now, there's a number of ways to do this, and a lot of them that you might see here on this channel or you might hear from other people, may not have worked for you in the past, but there is a reason for that, because the universe has some absolutely astounding laws. And I'm actually going to be taking people through a course to do with the universal laws from my perspective. And I've had a few downloads about universal laws, and I see them, a few of them, quite differently. Universal laws are more potent than civil law. So you really, if you were to start to understand the universal laws, you would start to understand how you are the creator. But if your consciousness is saying, no, I've got lots of money, I'm abundant in all areas of my life, your external world can't be different from that. It just can't. It just doesn't make sense. If you really believe, and this is, I think, one of the big issues, is that people don't believe. They'll believe on a conscious level when they're actively, consciously thinking, I am abundant, I am abundant, I am abundant. And you can go about all day saying, I am abundant, yet when you go into the supermarket, you go for the cheap options because you don't believe that you're abundant. This is what trips people up. This is what we need to be extremely conscious of being. But if you start to work on your consciousness, you start to work on who you believe you are, manifestation is all an inner game. It's all about healing wounds from your child. It's all about changing your beliefs, because a belief is only a belief because you believe it's a belief. Anything can be true. Anything can be true. There isn't a book somewhere that says this is true, this is true. The only truth that I follow is the universal laws, because you cannot falter them. You just can't. You can't trick them. You can't get some flash lawyer to get you off of some sort of charge. The universal laws, there's just no getting away, and they apply to each and every one of us. There's no getting away from them. If you're interested in my universal law course, if you go to the link in my bio, you will get more information. It's called Imagine If, and you'll get some of the information about that. The way that you create is not through your senses. Your senses are indicating to you what you have already created and what you are experiencing. It is not the truth. In fact, Abraham Hicks again will say that it's the past. What you're experiencing now is from past thoughts, from past beliefs. You can't change what you're experiencing right now, but you can start to work on letting go of what you're experiencing right now, knowing that it's from past thoughts, past beliefs, past behaviours, and then start creating what you want to experience, going inwards, not creating from external. That's the hard way. That's the way that we've been taught. Change your consciousness. Start to work on belief systems. Start to work on what you want to believe is true. And anything is true. You to make the rules. This is what's wonderful about this. You make the rules.